Hello sports fans, we're back with another team showcase video. This is a team from Games Workshop's Blood Bowl game. Here are the Lizardmen team from the 4th edition of Blood Bowl. These are Shinobi's Itzas Conquadors. The name was created using the language guide from the Lizardmen army book. Conqua means group and gore means rend, slash or strike. So loosely translated, Itzas Conquadors translates to Itzas Strike Team. Very, very cool. I love this part of making teams for Blood Bowl, where team coaches start researching the backgrounds for their teams and begin making the teams their own. I highly recommend this if you're just starting Blood Bowl, as it definitely gives the whole team a very personal feel. In fact, this, naming the players and using your own paint scheme, will definitely make sure that your team is entirely your own. According to Blood Bowl historians, Lizardmen have been playing the game for almost 8,000 years, despite the game not being as old. Of course, when queried, most of these historians point to the power of the Lizardmen prescience. This historical fact sort of makes sense when you realize the Lizardmen Blood Bowl team can have up to 3 different species working and playing together: the Crozigor, the Sauruses, and the Skinks. The Lizardmen team was introduced in the 4th edition of Blood Bowl. At this point, the rulebook was already in its first living rulebook version. In the 4th edition, the Lizardmen team only had 2 player choices: the Sauruses and the Skinks. Shinobi added a Crozigor for some added punch up front. In the 4th edition of the rulebook, the Crozigor was designated with the big guy rule, and the Crozigors also have the bonehead rule, which makes the Crozigors very effective on the line of skirmish, but Shinobi would need to handle the Crozigors bonehead rule. So it's either the Crozigors wreak havoc on its opponents, or wrecks the Lizardman coaches' game strategies by standing around and not doing anything. In later editions, the Crozigor was included into the Lizardman team roster. When Shinobi first got the Lizardman team, they were sold separately, so he had to buy enough to get a nice spread of the poses. In terms of gameplay in the 4th edition, the Sauruses did the heavy lifting, the physical work of blocking and keeping the Skinks safe. And the Skinks did the running, ball picking, passing, and yes, the touchdowns. The paint scheme was straight out of the Warhammer Fantasy Lizardmen army book. Simple and yet very effective. The small color palette unifies the team, and the clean painting style is perfect for this sort of showcase. And that's the Itzas Conquadors video of 4th edition Lizardmen Blood Bowl team. There are more coming, so stay tuned, like and subscribe, and may you never roll a skull.